Alrighty. Well, I'm not really one to do right wing content and covering the grifters because there's enough of those guys that do that. I appreciate everything they do. They watch the clips that I do not want to search out to watch. However, one of my favorite creators, Abba and Preach, decided to do a video about somebody in that sphere that I really can't ignore because Tim Pool, if you don't know who he is a grifting right wing streamer who came from the left. Like he started with Occupy Wall Street. That's what got him involved in politics, same as me, funny enough. He ended up going to New York. I stayed in Chicago. Which in retrospect was probably a better move laterally for him than, what I'm to be fair, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with as a career. I was just going down to protest stuff. It seemed like he was doing it with more of like a goal to create a career for himself, and you know what, more power to him. However, what I wanted to say about Tim real quick is that we did actually kind of grow up in the same area. I'm about the same age as him. We hung out in very similar circles. I used to frequent the same skate parks as him. I am not. I wasn't the skater kid really. I was more the poser who sat there with the pipe. But for some reason, I was always the most popular guy at the skate parks. So take that for what you will. Anyway, so Abba and Preach covered Tim Pool's his takes on women. So I just wanted to take a look at that because it is a doozy.
Yeah. But we did a segment on this before, so just bear with me if you've already seen it. Basically, before dating apps
and I did not speed it up this fast, just so you know.
In social media, a college-age woman, or high school, whatever age, is their dating pool is limited. I think college is probably a better idea. Yeah. It's probably a better example. Their dating pool is limited to the other college students of the same age and around their peers. But with Tinder, now they can message a 30-year-old guy who lives 5 to 10 miles away and who has a car. So when this woman swipes right on a 20-year-old college student and a 30-year-old career guy, she thinks they're both attractive, messages both of them. The 30-year-old guy says, I can pick you up in my Honda Civic and we can go to the lake or go see a movie. And the college guy says, you want to hang out my dorm with my dorm mates? Which one's she going to pick?
She's going to pick the guy who isn't in the dorm.
Yeah. So like for me, I'm a couple weeks away from being 34. But I grew up at a time I was coming of age when these social media platforms were being built. So I exploited all of them.
Yes.
I had a very normal teenage and years and 20s and everything, dating, hooking up, partying, all the good stuff. And I skateboarded all the time and I was arrogant, cocky, just awful person, all that. And the ladies loved it.
I hate to admit it, he's probably right. Especially knowing that that crowd. It was definitely not hard to hook up.
Exaggerating a little bit, but I mean they kind of did. And now I'm in my 30s and I can go on dating apps and be like, oh yeah, yep, you got it. And then these other guys who are like 26 have no experience because guys like me have dominated the dating apps for
yeah, you and the oh God. Oh, I feel like Kendrick Lamar, like just the women that are going for you are just you lose respect for all of them immediately.
the entire time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when they're 30, they've never dated before.
And they might, if they've tried a dating app and it didn't work, they're probably not going to want to go back on it when they're 30 to try again.
The dating apps are awful anyway. Like it's
Never
like
tried one.
Well, it's like for women, it's just you just sit there and you're inundated with messages from literally
Well, according to him, you're gonna fucking strike out. So you definitely look like you're in your 30s.
everyone. And then guys go in and message literally everyone.
Yep.
It's become awful. So I've basically walked away from it, just like, ugh, it's trash. But I do think it's crazy that I'm about to be 34 and I have no family because my dad had 2 kids, but
Why is that crazy? Like, what's so crazy about not having children at 34? I mean, okay, maybe not having a partner at 34. I could understand that being something. But you also seem like the type that doesn't exactly, kind of search out who you are. So how could you have a partner if you don't know who you are?
the time he was 20.
Again, that's not my advice. I met my partner when we were very, very, very young. Like we were, okay, we weren't like kids. We were 18 when we started dating, but we met when we were 16. And yeah, it's just one of those things, man. It's kind of crazy.
7.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you know what the problem is though? It's definitely not me. I think it's everybody else.
Yeah.
So you're saying
I thought he was being satirical when he said it too, because it was like a pause, and I thought this was going to be a punchline. It's because he just spent the last hour lecturing everybody about the fact that dating is so tough for ordinary people because they don't make enough money. Women are pretty much drawn to men who make a lot of money.
temples make money.
The guy has a compound, not just like a mansion. He has a compound.
He's like multi-millionaire.
Okay, I'm not
He's into
crazy.
hypergamy. He's talking about how women are hypergamous, all this other stuff. But at the same time,
You're 34 and still not.
He's not 34. This was 4 years ago.
you can't. Everyone else is the problem.
Like he's the cheat code.
I couldn't believe when he said that sentence.
Yeah, I just had to make sure that this was made 5 hours ago. So it's like, wow, it took them this long to get this on their radar.
Problem's not me. Definitely not me. Anyone who says that sentence, man or woman, run for the hills. Okay. When they say the problem is everyone else, that's because the way that they operate their life is my way or the
Didn't Taylor Swift have a song about that?
highway, and they're probably not reasonable. If you can honestly look at all your dating experience and say the problem has always been everyone else and never you, you're 1,000%
Oh,
a part
hell,
of the problem.
that's a walking red flag as a person. Come on. I don't understand the people that see that and they're just like, I'm going to try.
Everyone plays a role in some relationships failing. There's just no way you get to that point in life and you're never involved in any of the failures. Either in the selection of the people you choose, the kind of women you go after, the kind of behavior you exhibit in the relationship. You have to lack self-awareness to say, I've never been a problem.
Other people. It's not you. To him. No, I'm sorry.
You're right.
No, it's
right.
no.
You're right.
No, not this time.
The
Usually the common denominator is you.
the common denominator is infinity.
Yeah.
It's all the numbers.
Yes. Not you. Not the one.
That's crazy.
In all the relationship, who was wrong? Them. They're the common denominator.
Bro, these guys sell you doom and gloom, say the world is for the rich. They are filthy rich and they still can't make it work.
That's a great point right there. These guys, they flex all their stuff. They flex all the Cybertrucks, all this shit. Still not happy. Still miserable. Still constantly looking for that thing to make them happy. Weird.
And you would think that, like, yo, you look at guys like Myra and you look at all these fresh and fit, you look Red Pill, the high value men types. None of them have traditional families. Nope. Even though they yap on about it and conservative values, they're all sleeping around left, right, and center. They fuck.
Yeah, because they literally look at women as objects. The objectification of women is something that they will fight for. They constantly do. Notice how like they're still going on like the "we're not chauvinist" tour.
In left, right, center, they're having kids out of wedlock. They all do this shit, and then they want to lecture you about doom and gloom and just get you to pay for their subscription services. It's actually the craziest amount of pimping. These dudes pimp out lonely men. They're telling you get rich, be successful.
Yep, they do. Oh my, that's crazy to think about, but their fans, the ones that actually spend the money on them, oh, that's talk about. Oh my God. How pathetic are you that you're giving these guys who are telling you like, oh, these beta males are going to ruin everything. Give me some money.
This is the way they are all those things and they don't make it work.
No, they pimp out lonely simps.
Crazy.
Pimping simps.
Oh yeah, and these dudes are
I mean, they're just following the OnlyFans model, right?
simping for these guys. They'll get in the comment sections, they'll harass you, they'll threaten you because you went after their hero. I'm like, bro, that's more pathetic than simping for an OnlyFans model.
Make a Joe Rogan video. Yeah, that happens.
You simping for a dude who's literally stealing your money and making you more lonely. That's crazy. But yeah, moving past that.
So like when it comes to the women that I've been in relationships with, so one relationship I was in was a woman had a career. And so we never saw each other. And she's like, I'm not giving up my career. I'm like, well, I'm certainly not.
Yeah.
You're not giving them a career. I'm not.
Doesn't compromise, chooses somebody who has a lifestyle who's incompatible with his. Everyone else is the problem, not Tim Pool. Dude works 18 hours a day, chooses someone else who works 10 hours a day. Everyone else is the problem, not how he chooses. How does that make sense?
Do the shoulders again.
How does that make sense? You guys would laugh at anyone if they told you this as an employer. They're saying, I'm trying to hire a full-time employee. They hire a part-timer who works weekends only.
A student.
You look stupid. That's on you. That's not the employee's fault. How?
I want to interject more, but I'm just like, he's cooking.
How is that their fault?
Well, the employees are trash. Because if you
Well, it just started storming pretty hard out there.
Really like the company, you should be devoted for it.
Yeah, and it's like you start dating someone's like, all right, well, I have a job. I make more money than you. You should give up your job and stay more time and spend more time with me.
Just say that
but hold up. Just because you make more money at your job doesn't mean the other person wants to stop working. Doesn't mean that they don't want to be fulfilled in that way. And if they want that, there's nothing wrong with that. Just because you make more, you're not entitled to tell them to quit their job. They don't have to give up their lifestyle. They're not the problem. You guys have chosen the wrong people. Both of you guys are the problem in this situation.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Crazy.
If you say it's my way or the highway, or you have a my way or the highway attitude, just say that you're not available to date.
That would require them to have some self-reflection and also see that, you know, they are the problem, you know. The problem with that is these people have an ego that tells them, "No, I'm the catch. Chase me."
You're not available. Because being available to date actually requires you to be, what's that word? Available. And you're not. You don't want to budge. You don't want to move. It's everybody's the problem. Like, listen, my guy, you're a cheat code. You're rich. You're not half bad looking. Lightning.
You ain't see what's under that beanie.
All right, guys. I'm feeling a lot better about myself and my age. Wow. Yeah, that explains why he's wearing the hat a lot. Wow.
And you can't wear that beanie when you have sex, because if you do, that's crazy.
You don't.
I honestly think wearing a beanie in sex is worse, like 1,000 times.
Yeah, except this goes to the whole, like, women don't really, it's not all looks with women, but, I mean.
Worse than balding.
I think that he has to wear the beanie during sex.
No, he does not.
He has.
No.
All right, I'm going to go out on a limb and say he does.
He's not the problem, sir.
What if this motherfucker got an afro?
Yeah, but
and he's like 1/10 black, and he's just been hiding his Negro-ness.
And then some other women are like,
Dude, that guy is, he is, what's whiter than white? Like,
I want to go adventure and do my thing. And I'm like, I'm all about freedom and liberty, so you do your thing, I guess. And the only option I really have is to be like, no, you must be the wife. And I'm like,
I like how guys can watch him and just be like, yeah, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, man. And they never criticize him the same way like they come at me. I mean, I'm like the smallest of small YouTube creators. But even I have some jackass comments out there where it's just like, do you even lift, bro? It's like, fine. You know what? If I need a couch move, I'll call you. Or
like, that's not me.
Yep, exactly.
So I haven't found.
So you gotta find
I forgot that, you know, how much you lift is the be all end all of how masculine you are.
somebody who wants to, you know, start a family and be maybe a stay-at-home mother. You know,
But
something.
here's the challenge with that. My perspective, personality, what I find attractive, are all based on liberal urban sensibilities.
Yep.
And so most of the women in that space are going to be fiercely independent careerists and not.
You mean not into you? You mean immediately they're going to be turned off by everything that you are?
necessarily compatible.
Oh my God! You can't make this shit up.
No.
My guy, what the ladies realize at 30, you're gonna realize at 40.
Man, yo, everybody want a Build-A-Bear bitch. A Build-A-Bear RPG Maker character. I would like someone who's got 10 points of the TradCon, but also 8 points.
That one got me.
Into artistic endeavors, doesn't want to work. My God.
So, you know, over the past several years, I've been, you know, increasingly successful. I have no problem and no concerns about starting a family whenever I need to. But most of the women that, you know,
Well, I mean, wouldn't that concern include having a partner? I mean, what you just said there is like, I'm going to buy a partner. I'm going to buy a family.
have been with are like, can't career.
Yep.
And so there have been some who are like nearly 40. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's getting up there a little bit.
and it's no offense. I'm just
Wow. Oh, hearing her say that? Hearing her say that. This was 4 years ago.
Saying,
How old do
like,
you think
40
this
year old women
chick
are
is?
lovely.
Look at her. Look at her. How old do you think this chick is? For real.
no, it's the issue.
I don't even know her name, so like I can't even look it up, but really? Really?
issue isn't them being 40. It's the difference in my age to their age and where I am in my life. And the same is true with younger women
She looks older than me.
too. So I could certainly find like a younger woman who's like, I just want to, and I'm like, but we're just
And
not.
you know, I mean, there's biology that comes into play too. There, if you're looking to start a family and you know she's already in her 40s, then there could be some trouble and that could be hard, and that might not fit your what you want in your life.
Yep.
So now he has a problem with women who are younger than him, but you decide to prioritize your work and your profession and put dating by the wayside and just put all your time into that. And then you get to 34, come to realize like you really want this whole family situation. You're having regrets because you saw your dad, but this is just a result of your choices.
Side note, his dad and him do not get along. Tim's dad goes out tweeting and going on shows, giving interviews about how his son's an idiot and how he also is like the worst type of human being. He let his sister essentially become homeless because they had a disagreement. Yeah, some pretty hardcore stuff drama went down in that family.
Don't blame this on feminism. Don't blame this on the
Which is weird because like then he's going, well, I crave this family unit. It's like, what?
if feminism didn't come about, the very liberal values that you love so much in these women wouldn't even exist. If everyone just remained stay-at-home wives, all that shit that you yapping about that you're looking for in a woman wouldn't even exist in anybody. I don't know. To me, I'll never understand it. This makes me think of the people who want to travel for 10 years and just be a fucking nomad and then come to find out they have no community to really come back to, no roots that they've planted anywhere, or they haven't built a family and they're in their mid-30s.
That's a great point. People who just go off literally like, all right, I'm gonna peace out, guys. And they have this idea that anytime that they come back, they're just like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna have this giant circle of people around me, but they've moved on.
And they haven't launched up their career, and they're like,
Happened in
it's
my circle.
a result of your actions. You're dealing with the consequences. Take accountability. But instead of doing that, you blaming everybody else. That's crazy.
The result?
Yeah, except that's the game right there. He's not the problem. He's trying to sell himself as the total package. So how could he be the problem?
Everybody else.
Crazy. You know what I mean? Like you a player your whole life, come to your mid-30s, you got zero relationship skills. Then you want to blame women for not knowing how to act when it's actually you don't know how to compromise, you don't know how to deal with nothing. Stop blaming everybody else. Crazy. And I hate about this, it's always the dudes who be yapping about accountability. Oh, you reap what you sow. You know, this is the result of your actions. And then they sit here blaming the field instead of themselves. I think like most things in life, things are never as bad as people make it seem, but they're not as great either, right? They're normally somewhere in the middle, right? You go online, people will have you doomed out like crazy, thinking the world's about to end. And you go to real life and people are really just not concerned about a lot of this shit.
This is what I'm trying not to make this one of my political videos, but I have been saying this about the whole immigration thing every 4 years, where for some reason, the two biggest issues being the economy and immigration. Again, the economy is technically good. By all barometers, it's sound. But somehow we're being convinced that we're on the precipice of a depression. Not even a recession, a depression. And it's the narrative. Same with these there's 2 million illegals coming over the border every day. They're flying them in. Yeah, what? Because again, when do you guys actually care about this stuff, like in real life? And do you guys like look at this and go, like, do you ever walk outside and just go, wow, Fox might be leading me the wrong way and telling me things are much scarier than they really are? I mean, I feel so bad for any Fox viewer that goes to Chicago and is just like, I can't go outside my hotel. I can't leave. I'm going to get shot. I'm going to get robbed. Nope, I'm going to die. It's called Chirac. There's bullets flying everywhere. It's insane. And then these same people will be like, well, I'm going to St. Louis next weekend. We're going to a festival. It's going to be a great time. But then they don't realize that their murder rate per capita is way worse than it is in Chicago. But okay, it has nothing to do with the media spin or the narrative, whatever.
Shit, because it's just not in their purview and they're not privy to a lot of it. There is some truth to the stuff of hypergamy, but it's never as bad as people.
don't know what that means.
Make it seem to be. There is some truth to the fact that women do like men who make more money. But if you look at the numbers too, women date a lot of men who are around their income level or sometimes a little bit less. And that's becoming a more and more common trend. All right? This whole idea that it's only for the rich, I see so many poor and middle class people who are constantly getting married and making it work. This idea that you're never going to make
Oh, it's technically the situation I'm in. My wife is far more successful than I am. Got it.
to work unless you make six figures. It's just nonsense, okay? This idea that you have to be a Chad is also nonsense.
it's weird.
I see so many ugly guys who get it on with girls. Hell, I look decent now, but when I was in my mid-20s to early 20s, like, I look like a wretch who, listen, I look like something. And I was still making it work. I knew a lot of dudes who were even uglier who were making it work. This whole doomer shit online is like, hey, if you're not a Chad, I think this is just behavior that a lot.
Well, again, these are guys that listen to Andrew Tate. These are guys that, because I feel bad for the teenagers that started getting into this like content at too young of an age where they will not break from it. You know, like you do have the ones that are super hopeful because I mean, even I like hung out with a bunch of idiots that had really backwards ideas and eventually went, you know what? No. But if you have a kid that finds Andrew Tate at 13 and they're just turning 16, 17 and they're starting to go into the dating scene and they're not getting, you know, the women that they thought they would, specifically because, you know, Daddy Tate said, well, this is the kind of woman that's going to like you. And this is the type of woman you got to go for. High value woman that sees you as high value man, without looking at the fact that they're not a high value man. They're fresh out of freaking high school. So how can you like even like equate yourself to that? That's insane. So are you guys just going to sit there and go like, oh, I'm not Chad enough? Like, what is this? I'm starting to wonder like where these guys are going to be in their mid-20s. And if I was, you know, a psychologist, I'd be preparing for the next 10 years because that's going to be a wave.
A lot of people engage in to make their own inability to make things work seem more satisfying. It's not me, just society's changed, so I'll never find a mate. You have some accountability in all of this. Yes, things may have gotten difficult in some areas, but they've also gotten easier in others. And people who don't want to acknowledge that.
There's also no compromise in relationships, I've found. Like, you have so many people getting into newer relationships, even older ones. Like, I had a friend that was just like, yeah, we've been dating for about a year and a half. And then they had one big fight, and that was it. It's just like, okay, well, you know, there's no sticking it out anymore, which again, I do not give that advice where it's just like, just stick it out because, you know, you won't find better. That is always ridiculous. And I feel like, you know, setting yourself up to be in a trap situation is not healthy either. So you got to find that perfect balance. You do have to find that balance. And I wish that, you know, more of us could. It's almost like, you know, if we were nicer to each other and talked more, then maybe we'd be able to talk this out, but nope.
Always handing on their doom. I think they're just looking for excuses to justify why they're not getting the results they want. I'm on social media. I see ugly people getting married all the time. Good for them.
I go outside.
That's what I do. I go outside.
With the amount, with the amount of people that I know that consult, because now consulting and having a therapist or whatever, whatnot, is a thing that is in right now. So with the amount of that.
Okay, well, don't use it like that language where it's in right now. No, that means that it's becoming more popular. I mean, if you're going to say it like, yeah, it's becoming more popular and more accepted, cool. But if you're going to use it like it's just, you know, oh, it's just a fad. It's such a fad to have, you know, a therapist. No, that's not. Life coaches? Fuck yeah. That, you know, get out of here with your life coaching. But therapy, no. If you're going to sit there and shit on therapy, man, I got a full-on I have to disagree full-heartedly, especially if it is like, you know, a certified professional that you've been working with. No, I'm sorry. I disagree full-heartedly with people that are just like, you don't need therapy.
I see less and less people There's still some people that do that. The delusional stuff is still present, but there's less and less of that, and there's more people that are more conscious. No, I just really want to be like happy, and let me cut all the extra stuff. So I've seen more and more people just go for something that they really, going for something that is less flamboyant and more, less like, oh, you know what, someone that's rich that's making this and that that has people are more.
You mean they're settling more because they're starting to see the practicality in life, and also there isn't as many people making as much money at that age range anymore?
From what I've seen around me, maybe it's the Canadian thing.
They are humble.
Yeah. Life.
That's right. I forget they're Canadian.
Life humbles.
Hey.
You guys just see the delusional people because the delusional people spend a lot of time.
Are highlighted.
No, it's just they spend a lot of time online.
And they are highlighted.
They're loud about it too.
They are highlighted.
And it's flagrant, so it stands out. But a lot of happy people don't got no time to be on those social media. They out here doing shit. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
This is why I don't think you'll find me on Twitter.
Miserable people go online to look for answers. Happier people are not online looking at red pill shit. They're not.
Misery loves
So you're only going to be in comment sections with other people who are miserable. Why would you be watching some of this shit? It's just dudes just yelling at you. Who got time for that if you're actually happy in your life? Who got time to be like, oh my God, the feminist, if you're actually with a woman you really enjoy being with? I just couldn't imagine having a good time on my date and be like, you know what I need to do while I'm having fun? Let me go watch somebody called feminist whores. They're like, who got time for that? That's why that.
Yeah, you kind of nailed it at the very beginning of this, where these aren't the guys going on dates.
That was the thing during the pandemic.
There's a reason they're spending all their money and giving it to these red pillars.
You didn't go outside, so you just thought this shit was so real. Then you go outside and you talk like, what the fuck is red pill? What is this?
You think
shit?
that's why it toppled?
They don't care.
You think that's why it toppled?
It was never a really big thing. It looked bigger than it was because, again, we're online. Literally nobody in real life knows about this shit or cares. Mm-hmm. So, this is another touching grass segment. Do not listen to these creators because they will have you thinking everything is going to end. And that's their job too. Why? Because miserable and fearful people are going to pay money to support them.
Hey guys, just so you know, I don't think things are that bad, and I don't have somebody paying me to tell me how bad it is, or paying me to tell you how bad it is. So, things are okay. Yeah, they see, if you're online a lot and there's a lot going on, but then again, we're getting more and more information than we ever have had. But I think objectively things are much better than they, have been, and I think that they're kind of trending in the right direction. But unless you want to look at all these like little microcosms and then just be constantly reminding yourself, oh my God, doomsday is coming, or whatever.
When you think there's a war coming, you will invest in order to be ahead of the curve. I'm just saying. Did you not hear it come out of his own mouth? It's not me, it's everyone else. How many times have y'all heard women say that shit and these guys flame the out of them? And justifiably so. But here's a grown man repeating that same shit. How many times you gonna hear that? How many times you gonna hear men yell goofy ass shit like, oh, men are the prize? What? Are you not just a man? I'm the whole table. And you guys are gonna be like, yes, queen. Yep. Y'all gotta stop that, fellas. Do not repeat what these ladies said when you was flaming it for it and then act like you didn't do that shit. That's crazy.
Just sitting there chuckling.
You talk your talk, King.
Yeah, King. Yeah, King. Do your thing.
You talk your talk.
Know your worth, King.
That's right.
You the table. You don't even answer that question. Know your worth.
I want to present to you some ideas, and then you can just tell me what you think.
Sure.
And then we'll start from there.
That sounds great.
So have you heard that like young dudes aren't dating for the most part? Like they're not hooking up, they're virgins.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, before we even go anything, why do you think that is?
I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with dating apps.
Nice hat.
And women having more options now.
So I'll explain this idea, and I guess you agree.
Yeah.
But we did a segment on this before, so just bear with me if you've already seen it.
I'm sorry. I can't stand women that the pick me like her. Like that shit's gross. Where you're sitting there talking about like younger women having more social equity, and you're just totally no self-awareness at all about the fact that you've definitely had some fillers done and you definitely had some work done on your cheeks. And yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's just that's why I don't feel bad about picking on her.
Basically, before dating apps and social media, a college age woman or high school, whatever age, is their dating pool is limited. I'd say college is probably a better idea.
Yeah.
It's probably a better example. Their dating pool is limited to the other college students of the same age and around their
That's not true. Dude. What? You know how many college age women that I knew that, like he was saying, were dating the 30-year-old, or, like, there's plenty of experimentation in college. But yes, I mean, statistically speaking, you're going to want to date somebody that's in the same social circles and same social norms as you. But am I breaking new ground here?
their peers. But with Tinder, now they can message a 30-year-old guy who lives 5-10 miles away and who has a car. So when this woman swipes right on a 20-year-old college student and a 30-year-old career guy, she thinks they're both attractive, messages both of them. The 30-year-old guy says, I can pick you up in my Honda Civic and we can go to the lake or go see a movie. And the
I love you. Is he still driving a Honda Civic?
college guy says, you want to hang out my dorm with my dorm mates? Which one's she going to pick?
The guy
Respect.
who isn't in the dorm.
Right. So, I mean, so you agree?
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
But would you say that's materialism, or do you think it's just...
I think it's biological.
Explain, what do you mean?
Like women are driven to find a mate, whether or not you like it or not. Like, we're driven to be like, okay, who can support us? And, men are driven to be like, okay, well, who's going to give us healthy children? These are biological impulses that we have. So a woman whose options are a guy with no job, drinks all the time, parties, like his age, it's age appropriate. You should be doing that stuff. But, she had, these, that was her pool. And now she has men who have jobs and money and houses and are ready to do that, to be who she is biologically driven to want to be. And so she's going to choose that, unless she's wanting to party to like the dorm guy and not ready to settle down.
Well, I mean, yes, there are some women that do like to party.
Because there's some, so I think there's a mix between biological and social.
Yep.
I don't think it's purely one or the other. I think typically you'll find from like the feminists, it's all social constructs.
Yes.
But there was a study I just talked about earlier.
That's bullshit, dude. Oh my god. The fact that he said that with confidence is just ugh.
On one of my other channels, that when a woman gets a promotion, she is more likely to get divorced. If a man gets a promotion, there's no change.
Do you think she gets divorced by like her saying, I want to get divorced now because I can support myself, or is it the man saying, I can't live with you being more
I
successful?
think it's both.
That's
Well,
interesting.
so my opinion is, I think typically, not always, a woman wants a man who is of higher status than they are.
Yep.
Somebody who's capable, strong, confident, that they can look up to and know, if like you can rely on yourself as a woman, and then you have this powerful benefit in this strong man who's also providing you like a safety net, I guess.
Yeah.
And then men want to feel
Big strong man, protect my woman.
like protectors.
Yes.
So you flip the dynamic. If the woman gets a promotion, now the man feels inadequate.
It's almost emasculation.
Oh, it's so emasculating to have a wife who makes more than you. Yeah, super I'm so emasculated, guys. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just ugh. I have no testosterone in my body at all. I mean, some of you will totally take that and run with it, but whatever. Have fun.
Yeah. And so I know that it's funny. You'll see a lot of feminists will say something like, "Oh, boohoo, the poor man." It's like, it doesn't matter what you think about it. It matters that men feel this.
Yeah, and if they do, then I hate to say it, they're insecure children. Like, it is kind of scary how many men just walk around with 13-year-old brains. Like, literally, they never grow past that. And so many women are just shit shocked when all of a sudden this guy is just not, oh, this guy, he just punched a hole in the drywall. I don't think he's emotionally stable.
I would have to look at that study because I don't believe anyone who cites most of
I don't believe a single word of that study.
this shit online. But I'm curious. Do you believe that to be true? Do you believe that when a woman gets a promotion, a man's insecure about it because she's making more money now? I mean, this is all going to be anecdotal, so we just check.
It is anecdotal.
But yeah.
I've heard about it, but I've nothing to confirm it. I remember, like, my girl had, what happened? Why are you smiling?
I don't know. I just couldn't imagine being in a relationship with somebody and all of a sudden I look at my bank account and there's more money and I'm like, man, I hate this bitch.
I can understand that there could be some men that would be more uncomfortable with that. I would understand. I'm not that. That's not me. But the way I've seen a couple of men acting out there and the insecurities that's out there, I could see that whenever you got, like, for example, out of job,
I don't agree with it, but I guess I understand it.
my girl was taking care of, there was something that they used to do every year for breast cancer, right? A huge gala and stuff like that. And then you get to meet all the coworkers. All the coworkers she already makes more money than me.
Right.
All the coworkers are making more money than me. You know what I mean? So when you're
No, I've had that.
around, what do you do?
I bet that one doesn't feel good. That one's kind of like all right, well, I'm gonna go out into the courtyard and smoke a joint.
I'm a
And then if there is somebody who joins me, then it's just like, I don't care how much money you make, we're buds now.
manager of this and that district. What are you doing? I'm a manager of this and that. I got these. And then what you doing? I'm a dancer. Not that kind. So
I think I feel I'm a YouTuber.
I'm not like that. But
Just kinda started.
I know there are a lot of people
Yikes. I am not looking forward to those types of social situations soon.
out there, a lot
Oh,
of guys
boy.
out there that he
I got
will
a few
feel
coming
very
up.
uncomfortable like that. Like, well, Peter at your job, I know there's some guys like that. Do I feel like women want a divorce? Maybe it's true that whenever they get promotions, they're more likely to divorce.
No, because let's think about it this way. How many women are just kind of stuck in a relationship where, they feel like they can't do better? That, like, I can't tell you, like, past 35, immediately they're just like, I have to find somebody. I have to find somebody. I'm gonna die alone if I don't. Like, that alone bothers me. Where it's like, yo, chill. Like, that's. I feel like you're putting way too much focus on, the social, social equity of yourself at that point. But I also think that when a guy is gonna make less money than his girl, like, if it wasn't like that before, is what I'm trying to say. Like, if it is new money and the woman felt like she needed to be trapped in that relationship specifically because of money being a factor, then she gets a promotion and then she gets a divorce. That's what I was trying to say. I could not articulate it as well as I wanted to in that moment.
Divorce, I wouldn't necessarily put a correlation between the divorce and the promotion.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I just said.
I mean, there's probably dozens of reasons why that's true. Is it because they're becoming more selfish,
Yeah.
and then they're like, I've gotten better place in life, so I want to get
No.
divorced? Or is it because they're working more hours, so they have less time to
Yeah.
invest in their relationship,
Exactly.
and so that's what's
Well, I guess if we're gonna go, like, with the actual job being a cause of a divorce kind of thing.
causing friction between the two of them. The likelihood of her getting lots of promotions and a higher percentage of divorce could just be linked to the work aspect.
Yeah,
of it,
I'm just, hey man, you get a promotion, awesome.
too,
Exactly.
right? So again, these
dinner.
numbers, I don't know if they're real, but even if they are, what is the context behind them? What's the actual motivation? That's why I never like taking these.
Actually, like, I saw a TikTok earlier, where it was this dude who they were at like a meal with a bunch of friends, and his girl, like, low key, like, slips him the credit card under the table with her foot, and she's just like, yeah, I think that's ridiculous. The fact that he's so insecure that he needs to feel like the big man by I gotta put my money down. I gotta prove that I'm taking care of my woman. I think it's more pathetic if you have to put on the show and you just don't, let her take care of it. If you got to do the show, then you're just a sad, pathetic, weak man.
But you see how people will sometimes take a number and then just make their own narrative for why that's true.
Yes. Like, I can understand that someone getting a promotion, get the promotion, and then the tasks at home change and everything and stuff. So with just that promotion, there's more pressure on the person. The person comes back home with a lot of pressure, a lot of
Yeah.
They don't want to. When you're supposed to come back home, and that's just for me, to me. Your home is a safe haven.
Right.
Your home is your peace. I do not invite certain people, or it's gonna take a long time for you to be in my house.
Yeah.
Even if I've been friends with you for a long ass time, I've been friends with some people.
I mean, he's never invited me to his place. It happens.
I'm sorry, what's your name again?
There you go.
Exactly.
You know what? That's not as weird as you think it is. One of my best friends, I've never been to his place. He just moved, and I don't think I'm even going to see his new place.
I invite him. He doesn't come to my house. He doesn't want to because he dislikes everything I do. But
Ooh. That was uncomfortable. Him walking away from that. Ugh.
Why do you say it like that? Why'd you say it like that?
Oh man, that was called on the Carter right there. I was freaking out.
It's not wrong, but
it's not wrong. But it's really that. It's really that. You dislike everything I do and everything I have. And
I don't dislike everything you do.
you bought a couple.
Hey, I got a friend that literally was just like, I'm not subscribing to your YouTube channel because I get enough of you. I was just kind of like, you know what? I found the reasons not to. I'll respect that one.
Like, hey, no, because you saw how well it made
You
you.
know what I'm saying?
No, because you sported good.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? I
good.
don't dislike everything you do.
Now
you know?
you sported good.
Hey, you know what I mean?
No.
I'm gonna get it tailored a little bit over here just to just.
You don't have to.
I'm just saying.
Because the thing that happened is that right now it's new, but with time is gonna. You see,
It's gonna fade down?
With time, with time
Okay.
is gonna.
Okay, so it's not too big. It's
No,
just
no,
that-
no, no, no. It's good.
Okay.
No, it's
See,
good.
I don't like dislike everything you do.
No, because yo, because you like when I prop you up. When
No,
I'm
no,
like,
no,
yo,
no, no, no,
you're
no,
good. And
no,
you're like,
no,
yeah, I
no,
like
no,
that.
no,
That's you.
no.
That's you. Look at you. Look at you.
No, dude, look at that smile. He does. He's totally got the like. No, I like it when you give me a nice compliment.
That's it. That whenever you got, it's not that, is that you got promotion, you got more stress, you got more tasks that you have to accumulate. There's more stress on you, and it could weigh in on your couple, and then eventually coming back home can be not a safe haven.
Yeah.
And then you spend more time, longer time at work.
Yeah.
You do all those schemes to not go back home, and then it can potentially be. It could potentially be the cause of you splitting, but it's not necessarily the fact that I got a promotion. I'm a better person.
Yeah, no, it's literally not as just simple as she got a promotion. Well, fuck her.
Fuck you. I need to go up. Moving on up.
Yeah. I don't believe that shit. It's like the wage gap number because people used to
Yes.
just reference it and be like 20 cents on a dollar. But when you look into it, it's like, okay, well,
Why?
women who work in the same field but actually work in worse professions within that field. So instead of being a doctor who's a brain surgeon, they're actually just working in childcare. And it turns out that the ones that do, pediatricians,
Yeah.
make substantially less, even men. But once you had a woman who's also a brain surgeon compared to another brain surgeon, you saw that the income disparity leveled out a lot.
But
if you look at women who didn't have kids, or if you look at women who spent most of their time working, you realize that income disparity drops. So those numbers in a vacuum don't mean much. There's a narrative behind them that people are spreading.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look at what the reasons why are that they exist.
100%. And also there was also the fact that the number of time that they would take off versus their male counterpart.
Yes,
and
women sometimes prioritize that more.
Yeah, which is understandable and that's fine. But at the end of the day, they were paid the same.
I mean, if you're like my dad, it's like taking time off was almost worse because he would come back from vacation and be more stressed, and that it was almost like not worth it.
But if you take all the vacation and the leave and stuff like that, then you'd get a gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was that's pretty funny. All right. Well, we got one more thing that I want to cover before I end the stream. Actually, you know what? No, we're done. Alrighty. Well, that was fun. I have a feeling that Tim Pool's gonna definitely that one's gonna end up on his radar because this wasn't a political channel, and this is the kind of stuff that gets him really riled up. Like one of the things that got him the most riled up recently was he released a really lame music video with what I can only call like it was like if Taking Back Sunday was as lame as like a Christian band. You know, like, I don't know. Bad example, maybe. I don't know. I haven't thought about music in a long time. But regardless. Yeah, I think that Abba and Preach did a pretty good job of breaking that down. Again, I disagree with some of their final takes there, but what you gonna do? Either way, like, subscribe, comment. I'm on my way to 1,000. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.